just think you can flap your yap. No cap, yo, we looking at the facts and stats. Second city gritty to across the map. Put your cleats on your feet while we run some laps. Buckle up your seat while we have some chats. Who the GOAT on the court, pictures and running backs. Plug in your jacks and you're whipping your phone. Shalom, let's get it on, just a set in the tone.
Welcome everyone to the Setting the Tone podcast. It's the Bear Down.
This meeting is being recorded.
With my guys, Jerome, J Mac, and the boss, my man Earl. What's going on, fellas?
You got it. You got it. How's it going, Brother Earl? Brother Tone?
Man, how feeling? Good to be back, man. I miss you guys.
Oh yeah, most definite. Most definite.
Have you back, man? Back in the fold.
Just not under good circumstances, but we here.
We here.
Yeah.
Hey, so let's go ahead and jump right into it, man.
Yeah, man.
What was y'all first thoughts after the game yesterday when we took, that L to the Saints, man? What were y'all first thoughts going, once the game ended?
Discipline. I mean, you had a lot of penalties, especially on the offensive side of the ball, on the offensive line. Just a lot of penalties. They need to clean that up. And we actually had a chance to actually pull that game out, in which I didn't think we had a snowball's chance in hell to be that close. But to be down 7 in the fourth quarter, I think that defense they made an adjustment in the second half, but unfortunately our offense didn't. And still too many penalties, undisciplined football.
And I saw something where they were saying that they believe Tevin Jenkins was the only offensive lineman without a penalty as the Bears, lost by 7 in that game, 24-17. So that says a lot about our O-line. Like we don't have the discipline like you mentioned, J-Mac. That and those penalties hurt us week in and week out. Whether it's the offense or the defense, we get a penalty at the wrong part of the game and just stalls a drive or whatever it is, It's like, damn, can we just play some disciplined ball for once? I ain't saying be penalty free, but limit the penalties and stop having the penalties in the crucial moments,
Yeah, and they drive stoppers too, man. And you got to think about it. When you get those penalties, not only it penalizes us in yards, but it also stops our flow, man. If you're getting into a flow and you got some things going your way, those penalties stymie that, and that's what we got to learn to do. Quit shooting ourselves in the feet.
Facts.
Yeah, it's more penalties now we got this season than I think we had all of last year. And they talk about they was rebuilding and tearing it down. Well, we had a lot more discipline last season than we do this year. A lot more. And we had a bunch of rookies playing.
I think that adds to it too. The rookie side of it. Some of the guys who came in who don't quite know the playbook, who just adjusting. I think a lot of that plays into some of the penalties we get on the offensive line. They think about it. We're shuffling him every week. Somebody's hurt, so there's no gelling. There's no, they don't play a lot together. So I think that has something to do with it too.
It's the damn holding penalties. Darnell Wright, man, that dude got to cut that out.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he getting hit with that like every game now recently. It's like, okay, what's the problem?
In my opinion, some of those holding causes that's ticky tack.
Okay.
That's just my opinion from what I'm looking at. And
he looked like we had a lot of those in a couple of different games with a lot of ticky tack holding foul and PI fouls in a couple of games I watched last night. Like they're trying to get tighter with the calls or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, like across the league, not just the Bears, you saying?
Yeah, when I watched a few games yesterday, including the Bears. Well, I watched the Bears. I was there. So, but watching some of the other games, man, I'm looking at even let's say the Bills game last night. On both sides of the ball, it was a couple of tic-tac. The Kansas City game, just something that you would normally let go. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they're trying to shore up the calling or trying to they want more scoring in the game. We all know that. So maybe they're trying to deter the cornerbacks from holding or touching to get more scoring. I don't know what they're trying to do, but it seems like they've been a lot more critical of some of the ticky-tack fouls recently.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
And then you got to take into account they when I say they, I mean the Saints. They could have scored another touchdown. They let up on the last drive, of course. So
Right.
score is tighter than it really is. It really was. But I see that Tyson Bagent has a good working relationship with Cole Kmet in these last couple games. They've been working well together. And I guess that's what most young quarterbacks outlet is, the tight end. But that first touchdown was a hell of a throw and a hell of a catch by Bajan and
Commit.
yeah, man, I was like, oh shit, that's beautiful.
I think that I honestly think Komet saved them on that one.
The throw was great and the catch was great.
Yeah, I think Komet saved them, but that second one, I like the touch he had on the second pass, that second touchdown pass to Komet. That was a better pass.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
it had nice touch on it, and that was a really good pass.
Mhm.
Okay. I think so. You could tell. I mean, the guy leads the whole NCAA football and passing and passing touchdowns. So we know he can throw the rock. Why he was in Division II, never made Division I, I don't know his story that well. But anybody who threw the ball as much as he do, we know he can throw the ball. Can he read defenses? Can he, dissect certain plays to know what to change the call to, or, do we fire it in there or put some air up under it? That's the things I think he need to learn. But all in all, those 3 interceptions is going to make anybody look bad, and that's what it did for him. That opened the door to, if they were going to give him a couple more games to see what we had, that he ruined it with those 3 interceptions. And Phil's definitely going to be playing the next game if he's healthy.
Yeah.
Well, for me, the one that did it for me was that throwing it in the cover 2 when we trying to squeeze that in to Komet.
Yeah.
That's like three Saints defenders around Komet. Even though it was a couple of receivers, it was used. That was a really tight window. That was no way you was gonna complete that pass.
Okay. You got a point. You got a great point. We see that with a lot of young quarterbacks trying to force it to their guy. And like you said, he's got a nice relationship with Komet right now. That seems to be his go-to guy. What he didn't take into consideration is that the defense is also knowing that you're going to Komet more than all the other receivers out there, and they set him up. They set him up.
Set him up because I saw a couple of those touchdowns where they baited him. They set him up. They knew he was going to go for the underneath to the tight end. They knew that, and they just waited for him. They kind of played it off and waited for him to do it, and they pretty much set him up for it. He's got to look downfield more to his other targets, because ain't no way DJ Moore should have 5 targets in any game by any quarterback. That is just not good football, in my opinion. Like, you got to target DJ Moore more than 5 times. I think he had 3 receptions, right? But yeah, that's not that's not gonna cut it, because they know what you're doing. They know you coming for the tight end and the underneath throws.
That's correct.
I think we've said this quite a few times. 10 or more targets for DJ.
Yeah.
10 or more
Yeah,
a game.
without a doubt, because those 5 just getting him in stride. He need 5 more to show you what he can do, at least.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least.
At least.
But on the other hand, it was kind of good to see Mooney get off a little bit. That was kind of good to see. Well, not kind of good. It was great to see.
Yeah, for sure. I was like, okay, Mooney, you finally eating, because you've been invisible shit most of the season.
Yeah. Yeah, and it makes me wonder, is it him in the offense, or is it we not looking his way? What's the deal with him? Because I've always liked Mooney. His effort is awesome. There's a couple of freak injuries in practice and mini camp, that deterred him a couple years, but I always liked Mooney and his work ethic.
Yes, he's a great route runner, I believe. When I see him, I'm like, okay. But I think it's something to do with the offense
Timing.
and the quarterbacks, just the routes that he's running and the amount of time that they have to get him the ball. I think it has a lot to do with that.
Okay.
In my opinion, if you look at it, if you look at the play design and the play development, when Justin's in there, most of the play design and the play development takes a little bit longer than when Bajent is at quarterback.
Okay.
When Bajent is at quarterback, it's them quick reads and hurry up, get off the read, and go to your next progression. With
Right.
Justin, it takes a while for those plays to develop because they're developing downfield
Right. And he's trying to
because
go
of his
down.
arm strength.
Yeah.
So you saying they ain't really trying to go downfield as far as the play calling has been with Bajent?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
it's very
they have been
sparingly.
saying that they said that his arm strength wasn't that good. Again, I don't know too much about him other than what I've saw in the pros, but they did say that his I don't get it. If he lead the college football ranks and everything goes, as far as passing, I don't understand where that stigma come from. How can he not throw downfield and he lead the whole, college ranks and everything is to do with passing? So could it be that he's just not ready to go downfield? I don't know. Like I said, I don't know too much about the kid, but I do know he gets that ball out fast. Now, whether that's by design or trying to protect him, that's where I don't know.
Now he say he has the arm strength, but I haven't really seen it consistently. I seen maybe one or two throws where he shows a little strength, but when there's a bunch of throws where they're underthrown, they're ducks, they're wobbly. Like that ain't it. But yeah, it could be that because he was in Division II, that the coverage wasn't all that great, or his receivers had a lot of yards after catch, or whatever the case.
Right.
You know,
And that's what I'm saying. Those are the things I don't know about them. But a lot of times when quarterbacks throw ducks, it's because their motion trying to get it downfield where they rear too far back and it winds up coming up as a duck because they're not following through because they're trying to put more power than touch on it. So that could be his issue too. If he ain't got enough strength to get it down there and he rearing up trying to touch Mississippi before he go up north. Yeah, it might be the reason. That might be the reason why he throws so many ducks, man.
And you can't say he was under a lot of duress because he wasn't. That pocket has been very clean for him these past 3 games.
yeah, only 2 sacks. That's not too bad. Is all for anything.
Right. Very clean pocket for him.
200.
Okay.
You give Justin that same time, and I think he picks you apart.
For sure. At least he'll get bigger chunks. I believe.
Right. We'll get bigger chunks because
Hopefully,
the way the offense is looking, it's looking to me dink and dunk, and then you surprise me with a 20-yard pass or so. I mean, the time of possession looks good, but the
Hmm.
yardage don't account for it.
yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday it seemed like nobody could stop anyone. The way I mean, we had some decent drives, man. Defense just got to come along for the ride. Excuse me, got to come along for the ride, man. I like what I saw at the offense yesterday. Again, when we started out with them 17 points clean like that, man, we should have been able to do more with it. It's just I still don't think Luke Getsy is good at adjusting at the halftime, man, because if you look at our first half scoring as opposed to our second half scoring, there's our problem coming out at the halftime. We lay an egg.
Man, that's
Yeah.
very. And we had a balanced attack, 30 attempts and 32 carries. Or you could really say 32 attempts because he got sacked twice. So
Right.
And some of that was those rushing yards that he had, those weren't designed run plays for the quarterback.
nah, but he did
And
his
he had
thing.
8 rushes, 70 yards.
70 yards, yeah. Now he
So
ran the ball pretty well too. I'll give him props for that.
yeah, yeah. And as you see in the second half, they shut that down.
Yeah.
They shut that down. They kept everything in front of him. They made sure he wasn't going to beat them with his legs.
No, I felt like we had a good attack passing and rushing. I just felt like the turnovers was the killer. I mean,
Yeah.
three interceptions, 2 fumbles by the team. Those 5 turnovers killed us. Really, I mean, that's the game right there. Can't turn the ball over 5 times and expect to win. Can't.
Yeah.
Can't.
No, but
Yeah.
in the second half, I do believe if we wasn't trying to get, as you say, Tone, so cute,
Uh,
instead, and if we would have ran the ball, we had a chance to score and to keep it close. They want to throw the ball too much. They want to show Bajan's arm, in which just stick with the game plan, run the ball.
yeah. I mean, Foreman
We
had 20 carries, but I wouldn't mind if he had 25 or 30. Shit.
yeah,
Especially when
run
we
the
run it. The way we
yeah,
run the ball, we could have ran the whole game effectively. We didn't fall behind by enough to warrant throwing the ball as much as we did.
Facts. Facts.
and they went away from running on that right side.
Yeah.
They went totally away from that in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, that's true.
that's
That's the one thing that Wright can do. He can run block. He can run. He's a mauler.
oh yeah, and plus you got Tevin next to him, so
Yeah, that's
those
definitely
dudes
our
was just
strong side.
opening up holes, and they just ignored it.
Yeah,
It's because
yeah.
you wanna try to showcase Bajan's arm and stick with winning.
Hey,
Learn how to win first.
you said Tevin right next to right? I thought he was on the other side with Braxton.
No, not right now. He not. Not while Nate Davis is out.
Okay, man, I didn't miss that one. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nate Davis is still out, so they got Cody over there next to Braxton.
That's right.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. Forgot about
I'm glad. I'm glad Patrick is back, man, because that doggone Whitehair snapping the ball 75 feet in the doggone air, man. Jeez,
And I'm
he
trying to
just
figure
pissed
out
me
who's
off.
worse,
that.
Patrick or Whitehair.
Whitehair, man. I don't know, shit. You know the two, what is it, 2 games Lewis missed. Cody was snapping the ball, and it's a good it's good that Fields got a background in baseball. He had to play some outfielder, man, snagging some of them balls from over his head.
Facts.
It's
Yeah,
terrible,
but
man.
you also got Patrick getting beat. Like this
Mhm.
could be a toss up right here. Who's worse,
Right.
Patrick or Whitehair? Because Patrick, he's good for at least 2 or 3 penalties a game.
Uh-huh.
Holding, um, what else? What offsides? How can you be offsides if you
How you
snapping
gonna
the
be the
And
ball?
you just
center?
right, right, and you the center. That's just
Right.
sad, right there.
I don't even
Uh-uh.
understand that logic. Damn, how you do that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got to be a special kind of dumb for that one.
Not
Hey,
special. Not special, man. That's
Yeah, very. Yeah, I guess that's the Packer logic because that's where he come from.
that's right.
right. That's crazy. That's crazy.
We got to
Yeah,
do better than that, though.
I think our downfall yesterday was the turnovers because every time we had an opportunity to go up by 2 scores, it was some type of turnover.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We could have blew this game out the water. That second drive that we had coming down, man, we could have blew the game open with that.
facts. And although we say Beijing didn't get the ball enough to Moore, he did spread the ball around pretty well. Like everybody got involved.
Yeah,
So I like that. That's one positive that I liked about yesterday's game. He spread the ball around. Just needed to get a little bit more to DJ. But yeah, the turnovers, man, they gotta come out of that. So I was gonna say what I was gonna say. I was gonna lead to next week, but let me just stick here real quick. What y'all
okay.
what y'all feel about the how we looked on defense with adding Sweat on the line? Montez Sweat.
for me,
Um,
that's a wait and see. Um, he did make one impact, on a pass,
Yeah,
but it's just limited, his limitations right now as far as knowing the defense.
yeah,
As far as putting pressure on the quarterback, we still didn't see it yet. You know, uh, I don't know. We gotta wait and see because to me, unfortunately he was a non-factor.
I think you won't truly see his impact until after the bye.
mhm,
We got one more game until the bye. Am I correct by saying that?
I think too.
yeah.
2 more.
I think it's two. Might be more.
Okay, so you think about it. He's gonna have a full week not worrying about having to play. Well, actually, a full 2 weeks without having to worry about the play. And he's going to be able to gel a little bit with whoever side of the ball he's on, whether it's Dexter or Billings, and he's going to learn how to work with that guy without having to worry about a game coming up 7 days later. So I think the bye, after the bye, is when you're going to see whatever he's going to be with us. It's going to start to show then.
And he only played. He didn't play the whole game. They put him in certain.
Nah, right.
Right.
You got to take that into
Yeah.
account. I think they say he played 42 snaps, 25 pass rushes. They say four pressures. So
Yeah, I was telling my son and my nephew were watching the game, and I was saying, I wouldn't put him in, but first and third down. First to try to get him behind the sticks, third down on passing downs. That's when I wouldn't even put him in on, second down. I try to keep him fresh because the only thing he really can do for us without knowing our defense is just, hey, go
Pass
get the
rush.
quarterback.
right,
Go
and
get the quarterback.
I believe that's what Flu said, that he started him in, putting him on first and thirds. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they wanted them in on passing downs.
Yeah, that's the best thing to do. You want to put them in on first down, like I said, to try to get them behind the sticks, so that on third down you can pretty much guarantee they're gonna throw it, and then he can really just let loose and go out to the quarterback. That's the only thing I can see him being efficient in right now, is just trying to get to the quarterback, because we don't know what he's doing out there on our defense.
Right. I kind of like that. They kind of got him on the side where they had D Walk on the left side, and they probably got Yannick on that right side. That's probably where he feel more comfortable.
Okay.
But I still, even though with Sweat being there, I still need to see Yannick win more one-on-ones.
Hmm.
And he he was brought in as a pass rush specialist, and we only got 2 sacks out of their brother.
Right.
So me personally, I need to see more of those one-on-one wins.
Hey, I was listening to Lance Briggs this morning, and he said, he got that spinning around. It's spinning around. That's his only move. He got a spin move. That's it.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
I ain't seen a cross chop yet that worked.
Yeah, and he's gonna get one-on-one situations now, more so with Sweat being on the opposite side. So if he can't show some domination after Sweat comes on board, then it's good. We ain't lock him into long. We didn't lock him into long term, did we?
No, we didn't
No,
lock it. No,
no.
Right. No, it's probably a good thing. I
Yeah,
thought it was a
1 year
1 to 2
contract,
year.
10.5 mil.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And
And my thing is, they say Sweat only got 5% win rate as far as one-on-one blocking. Hey, we
And
got to
that's
be
hard to
better than
believe when
that.
you got Chase on the other side of you, bro. Because Chase a dog.
you think so? He used to be a dog. I don't think he's still a dog.
Well, I don't know. He's young, and that knee, people don't take in consideration that knee can heal fast, but that mind doesn't. You need at least 2 years off of after you've healed to get back into whatever
Yeah.
mode you were in after knee surgery.
I was
So I don't.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was saying that to some 49er fans. They were talking about Sweat. I was like, I really feel like y'all living in his past, because I mean he's still a good player, but he ain't that guy, anymore. I don't think right now. And like you said, it will just take some time. Maybe he'll get back to it. I don't know. Back to what he was.
Yeah.
He was out what, a whole year and a half,
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty much.
but even when he could come back, they didn't really let him play. So I think a lot of people don't come back from that until they get hit on that knee and see that they're okay. I don't know if he's had that yet. I think he's playing safe. He's still fast. He still got that first move, but that power to or speed to power move that he used so good in Ohio State, I haven't seen him really come back to that form yet. I think it's a mental thing with Chase Young right now.
Could be. That's a hurdle you got to get over. That's probably the last hurdle.
Yeah.
Derrick Rose talking about that when he had his knee problems, the mental part.
Yeah. And I can tell you from experience, I've had it. I had to get my knee scoped twice, and it really doesn't until you can get. And it doesn't happen the way you think it's going to happen. It's going to happen out of the blue, and you're going to get hit from behind, rolled up on, or something, and you're going to see that. Oh, okay, it's good, and you're going to get back to being you if it doesn't become too much of a mind thing. And you can see people like what was the Dirty Bird running back? Jamal Anderson.
Yeah,
Yeah, people like him. Once he got that knee injury, he never regained his form, never. And some people just remains a mind thing.
yeah. But we'll see with the Chase Young thing in over in San Francisco, but he might be just a rental for them anyway because they got a lot of contracts over there.
But Bosa, Hargrave, uh, what is the other guy? Buckner. So yeah, they got a lot of mouths to feed over there. I don't know if they're gonna be able to keep Young like that, man.
Right, right. But
So,
go ahead, Jerome.
I have a question. What do you all think about Sanborn's play in the absence of Tremaine Edmonds?
I thought I thought he looked like Tremaine Edmonds out there. I didn't think he did anything spectacular or special. I mean, whenever the ball was ran and they broke the line, our linebackers were there to sew it up. He was making tackles in space on the running game. That's what
Yeah.
I didn't feel like
But
he was affecting the passing game anywhere, any type of way. I just thought the running backs was running into him and he was tackling them, or he was chasing
yeah,
some. So I didn't think he did anything special.
out of the second tackles, he had 5 solo. What did I think? TJ Edwards had 10. That's TJ. TJ leading the league, and leading the team in tackles. Sanborn is just a what they call yeoman, hard hat, blue collar type guy. Man, he's gonna play. I think he doesn't have that it factor. Like some of these linebackers that can jump or cover tight end. I just think he's a blue hat worker that's gonna be there.
He's
The
not a
majority of the time.
I agree. He's not a sideline to sideline type of linebacker, but
Right.
he's got a nose for the ball. He'll get to it. He'll get to it. If it's in his range. So he
Yeah.
did a good job filling in.
Yeah. To me, he's
Uh,
gonna be as good as the person who's leading him. In other words, if the linebackers do their job, then he's gonna look good. If he's got to do anything more than he used to doing or comfortable with doing, I think that's where he's gonna get in trouble. I don't think he can be the lead linebacker, the Mike or the strong. I think he got to be on the weak side, playing off the strong linebacker.
What do you think, Jerome?
Me personally, I think he did pretty well. I mean, filling in for Edmonds. I mean, the only thing he was missing that Edmonds has is length, but he didn't miss too many tackles. That was the main part. He didn't miss tackles. He didn't get
Yeah.
ran through. Running through arm tackles when he was tackling. He tackled.
I don't think that happens with our linebackers. That's more with our safeties and our corners. Our
Yeah.
linebackers.
You better go back and take a look at Edmonds again.
Okay.
Evans, I think he's more of a wood layer. He like to wham, but he don't his rap. He don't rap all that much to me.
You got
That was my knock the first 3 games. Dude, we looked like a high school. I remember me saying that, man. We couldn't tackle a goddamn potato chip bag. It was just sad to see. It's better
I see that
now.
a lot with our corners and safeties. I don't see that a lot. I mean, okay, maybe he missed some tackles or not wrap up some, but it's not like I don't think is it a normal occasion for Edmonds to do that, or is it
I don't
sometimes?
think he
has
does it
been.
some games now. He done it more than one because, hey, Jerome see it, I see it. His tackling ain't to be desired. I ain't gonna say him getting to the ball or covering on pass plays. I'm not saying he's not there. I'm saying once he get there, the job he does at tackling is not to be admired. I don't think he raps. I don't know. I don't know what his problem is, but for us to get him for what we did and get him from the Bills, and he was good over there. I don't understand what's happening here now. I don't know.
Yeah.
I agree with Jerome with that, man. He could do a way better job with tackling. He's there. He's where he needs to be. Is what he does when he gets there.
All right. To me, it don't warrant that contract that he got. That's just
I don't think
my opinion.
I don't think he's played up to it either. And
Yeah.
again, it could be because the defensive line is not, the linebackers look good because of the defensive line. You know what I mean? And everybody on the offense look good because of the offensive line. I've said it before. I said it many times. It starts in the trenches. You're going to get interception because the defensive line is getting pressure without having to blitz, and you're going to score a lot of touchdowns because the line is protecting who the hell he is supposed to protect. And without that, You could be the best quarterback. Look at Pat Mahomes in the Super Bowl against Tom Brady. He was running for his life, and that was an MVP type, quarterback. If the line don't do their job, it's always going to look less than, great.
Had some key injuries on the offensive line when they were in the Super Bowl that year. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Man, so Montez Sweat gets his contract, and Jalen Johnson's still looking for his money. Y'all think that deal gonna ever happen, or that's just nah? What y'all feel?
Listening to Pose, and he did the interview. He doesn't give me much hope. He did say that they haven't got to the point where they throw out a number, his guys throw out a number, and they work from there. He said they hadn't even got to that. Nope. When he came and asked for that permission to seek a trade, they hadn't even got to that point yet where both sides at least throw numbers out. So I don't know if that's because they haven't had the time. Is that because Jalen don't want it or what? But Pose said he made it clear to him that he wants him there. So I don't know what it is.
But did he say that, or was he talking about like the final number? Like,
no, when he said on the interview, what he said on the interview is that they hadn't even got to that point yet. They haven't got to a point where they can even argue about numbers yet. They haven't. Nothing has been thrown out there because the sides hadn't talked. Not because somebody's, because Jalen's trying to stall, but because of the season and what's going on in the season, they haven't got a chance to talk.
That's
numbers.
Then Jalen said he's not negotiating anymore. So I don't understand that. He says not negotiating anymore during the season. So
yeah, it can be a distraction.
Right, but I'm saying if they haven't talked about numbers, I don't understand how he going to say he's not negotiating anymore. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, somebody's not being truthful. It makes perfect sense. Somebody lying. Somebody ain't telling the truth. I mean, if Post in the saying that he wants to keep him here, and they haven't really got to numbers yet, then he's saying he don't want to negotiate anymore during the season. Now, whether that's because it's a distraction or because he forget it. I'm out of here when the season is over with.
And then you ask for a trade, but y'all ain't negotiating. Now, how does that happen? Like, right?
How do you ask for a trade? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Somebody not putting everything out there. Because how can you ask for a trade and you ain't even because he said he wanted to be in Chicago, but you're asking for a trade and y'all ain't talked numbers yet? That's kind of backwards. How can you want to trade and want to be here, want to trade without even discussing numbers?
I think it's more so the negotiations probably sounded a lot like Roquan's negotiations, in which why Jalen probably threw that out there. Because if you look at all the articles and everything that's been put out, everything just sounds like Roquan.
So
all over again.
What do you mean by sound like Raekwon's negotiations? Because they had a number. Roquan had a number. We don't have a number.
Roquan had a number, but at the same time, before they got to that number,
they don't have a number though. I don't understand how it's the same.
At the same time, before they got to that number, Pose had a number in mind to himself. What you're worth. And it's probably the same thing right now. This is what you're worth to us.
He did say he had a one-on-one with him, because that's how they came about with the trade. So he did say it. I don't know if it was right before he came back. He said him and Jalen had a one-on-one. They, sat down and brought him in, told him what the expectations were, blah, blah, blah. But according to Pose, the numbers had never, from either side, had never been proposed.
Right.
That doesn't even sound honest with everything else going on around it. Like, something had to be thrown out there if this man's asking for a trade. This man's no longer wants to negotiate during the season. I don't believe Pose on this one, man. That's a number out there, and they just not close. That's how I feel. I don't know. Shit doesn't.
I think it hasn't been an official number to where they can, deny or agree. I think that when they had that one-on-one, he gave that man some type of, clue as to what was going on. Now, it may not have been official, but because the moves that is being made by Jalen don't match what Pose is saying out of his mouth. It just doesn't.
Because Pose, I think Jalen himself had said they're far off, and this was before before the trade deadline. Yeah, I think I've heard Jalen himself say that they're far off. The numbers are far off. So as y'all said, there's a number out there somewhere.
Yeah.
There's a number out there somewhere. And I don't think Jalen's gonna get that 19 mil that that Diggs got, that Trayvon Diggs got.
Mhm.
I think it's gonna be a little bit below that.
Yeah.
So me personally, I think between 14 to 18 mil is where you should slot him. You know, he'll be a top 10, but he won't be top 5. He won't even be
Okay.
top 6 with that.
14 and 18. That's still a large window. Can we narrow that down to 2 million, not 4? That's a lot of
Well,
money on the table.
yeah, it's a lot of money, but we don't know for sure what he's asking for
Yeah,
or what type of what he's looking for. Because even with that'll put him at what 19. That'll put him at what 6 or 7.
yeah.
Because that's what Diggs is getting.
So, do y'all feel like the Bears should give him whatever he's asking for, no questions asked, or just they need to go ahead and be smart or
I
frugal?
think I think the issue with his contract is, the best thing that you could offer a team is availability, and come on. I think that's the hiccup in what's going on. And, his injury bug. Nobody gonna pay you all that money and then only get you, 8 or 9 games out of the season.
But that's to me, in my opinion, that's going to be a hiccup when you negotiate any type of contract because somebody they can play lights out all 5 years like Montez Sweat, and then as soon as he get here, he gets injured.
Right.
All right, but that's different though because that's after you sign. He already proved that he can play on the field. Now injuries happen, of course, but he already proved that he's available. So you gotta pony up for that. You gotta pay. Like, look, hey, this man is available every day. If we want him, let's go get him. But a guy you already know that's gonna miss a third of the season, you already know what you're getting into. You be like, yeah,
Right.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
can't replace that. You can't replace that production on the field, and that's
and what we gonna say about that? The best ability is what?
It'd be available, baby. The best ability is availability.
well, we seen how that works out in Tev's place. Because you can fill that hole, but at the same time, you don't get that same production at all.
Right.
You don't get that same production at all.
So,
Yeah, we can fill that spot. Yeah, let's put your Tyree Carter in, and you can see clearly he is nowhere near on the level of Jenkins or Davis.
yeah, that's
That's
probably a
a
different level of player though. You got tiers, but
yeah. It's just you got to have that depth, and if you ain't got the depth behind them, then
and that might be the thing. The Bears front office and coaching staff might like, look, we have young corners. Do we
Right.
need to break the bank with Jalen? You all know that, right? We can pay him, but we ain't gonna pay him a ransom because we have young talent behind him. We drafted well at cornerback. You know,
yeah, you got a DB room full of mono. Do we got to go through this again?
I'm talking about the talent. I ain't talking about
That talent is there, but as you say, we got to be on the field.
so
Yeah.
Jalen's only missed 2 games this season. He's played 7 out of the 9, so that's not too bad.
Yeah,
Well, I thought
yeah,
wasn't he injured last year too?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And he's been in the league what 4 years now. I mean, that ain't good for 4 years of playing. You know. And then I'm looking here too. This is what I'm seeing. It said that now. You heard what I said when they said when Pose supposedly had said. Well, he did. I watched the interview. He said they had at the point of him asking for a trade, they had not spoke about numbers yet. Now on here, it's saying that they had negotiated a deal, a contract, and couldn't come to agreement with it. So now again, who's telling the truth here?
So who said they negotiated a contract? Who said that?
This is the let me see. This is the Herald.
Okay.
Said that this is by Jeremy Fowler from ESPN. Said that he requested a trade per source. Said Chicago granted permission to search for a new home. Said the player and team negotiated a new contract last week, but couldn't come close to a deal. Couldn't come close to a deal. So it said that there's a talented corner now available. Of course, this was last week before the deadline.
Right.
But yeah, this is
Hey, that's going back to what I was saying. I think Poe's lying, man. I
yeah,
think
yeah.
he's
I
lying.
think I think he's trying to save face, by trying to, make it look like, well, we tried,
Yeah, he tried. Next.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then, it's got to be even more awkward now that Sweat got his deal.
I was just
right.
gonna say that, like, I know Jalen, like, he probably, being a good teammate, but still inside, he's got to be like, oh, this is some bullshit. I think
And if you look at it, it is that sounds like some bullshit because how can you come out preaching we want to keep homegrown talent and then you pull this type of shit. This is 2 years in a row. You had homegrown talent, even though the Roquan Smith was a totally different situation. It's
Hmm.
still homegrown talent that you need to keep. He would have balled out at the weak side linebacker and probably have as many, if not more, tackles than T.J. Edwards.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But you let him go
Because he
because
balling out. He is
he
balling
he,
out over
he
there for
balling his ass off in Baltimore.
I,
Made
man. That
made
boy
all
balling.
pro.
I hate to keep going back to the Roquan thing, but it was more than just the contract. It was how he came out in the public and everything.
Right. That's why I say the situation was totally different. But at the same time, it's still you want to keep that man on board.
But do you want to keep somebody on board that y'all don't work well together, y'all don't get along, you got bad words for me? Do I really want to keep you around? I don't care the
Right.
money. It's so much to that, man. It's too much to
Yeah,
that. Just because I
that's
want you to
true.
play for me, I don't respect you or like you because you don't respect me or like me. So what's the deal? You know?
Yeah, you don't want that locker room poison. I don't care how much you're paying them because sooner or later it's going to affect the whole team. So locker room guys are just as important as stars on the team. And if no matter how much you're going to give him, if he's going to corrupt that locker room, you got to get him out of there.
Yeah, I agree.
But we
And the
we
GM,
we
yeah,
we've seen multiple reports where they said tore that locker room up when they traded Roquan.
I'm sure. I'm sure
Yeah, they really didn't like that.
he was the
They
leader
didn't
of
like
that
that.
team for sure.
Yeah. So I think it'll be the same going forward if you was to let Jalen go or let him walk.
I agree with you on that one because this is another situation where you got in-house talent and you're not re-signing them, you're not extending them. That could
Yeah.
give locker room a poison pill where they don't re-sign their own players. So
Right.
if I want to be here or how this is going to work out for me, you know what I'm saying? I feel you on that one. But at the
And
same
who's
time, his number, I want to know what his number is. At the same time, I want to know what Jalen Johnson's number is. That is so important to me. Why he ain't
Yeah, I'm looking for it. That's why I keep looking away. I'm
I
trying to
want to know
find
what his number.
anything.
Yeah,
Yeah. The only thing that it's saying is that they wanted, they telling what the Bears wanted. They wanted a low first round pick or a high second round pick in exchange, and said nobody was willing to pay that price. That's the only thing. I'm not here. I'm not seeing no dollar values. I've been
and
trying to hit a couple different outlets, and they just won't give me anything, man.
and
So
to
whatever they
me
offer, they keeping it up under lock and key.
yeah.
to me saying that wanting a low second round, a low first round to a high second round pick, well nobody willing to pay that
I think that's the
because
only
they
reason he's
gotta
still a Bear.
yeah they gotta make that trade and then still pay him on top of it. Nobody was willing to do that like what the Bears did because they saw Montez Sweat, and that's what they did. They gave up a high second round pick, and then they still ended up paying the man 25 mil.
That also shows you how much the Bears value Jalen, though. They want a first round pick for him. That's a lot of
Right. Yeah, that's a lot of value, but at the same time, you don't know if you're gonna hit on that or not.
Yeah, that's a bold move. That's a bold move. They didn't pay him that much. You're banking on something. What do you see from Sweat that made you give this man 25 per? You know, that's a
Yeah.
that But didn't we have 2 second-round picks anyway?
No, we only had the one. We had
Okay.
2 first rounds, 1 second. Now we got an
Okay.
extra second round in the following year that we got from Carolina.
In 2025. Right. That could be why they made the move, knowing that we got an extra one coming. You know, they're really not losing it because they're going to get that extra one back, and depending on how Carolina do, that could be considered a late first round pick.
Right. And I was gonna say, on top of that, I look at it like we still got the second round pick because we got 2 firsts. I mean, we got 2 firsts. You're not missing that pick.
You're not at all. Not at all. And if he can help, I mean, we really winning. We're really winning if he can come in and do what he do.
A proven player for a pick that we have no idea what it could be, what it could turn out to be. And we still got 2 firsts.
Yeah, and you think about it, if he do what he's supposed to do, that's just like getting an extra pick next year. I mean, if he do what he's supposed to do.
You got to see how he's going to play alongside this line.
Yeah,
this line is nothing like what he had in Washington.
Right.
There's no Deron Payne. There's no Jonathan Allen. There's no Chase Young on the other side. So
still developing our 2 rookie DTs, but that's not.
They're looking good, man. I mean, well, Dexter is looking real good.
I like Dexter.
I like Pickens. I like how Pickens is looking.
Both of them are coming, man. Remember, I said, I thought within the 6, 7, 8 game range, they were going to start to show whatever they had. And it looked like both of them guys was a good choice, man. I think them young bulls, you're gonna have to pick your poison between our DTs or in our defensive ends. And I think that's going to help us. If and it's always an if Sweat come in and be the guy we think he is, it's going to start to jive, bro. Our defensive front four is going to start to jive if Sweat is if he's that missing piece.
Yeah, I won't hold too much on Sweat right now. I'll give him 3, 4 games before I like, what you got? Because right now he don't know his teammates. He don't know the playbook. He don't know nothing. So give him 4 games, then I'll be like, okay, now what you got? I ain't gonna.
And I think that bye going to give him 2 straight weeks of practice that he ain't got to worry about going out there and performing. He can just get into I don't know what his workout ethic is. I don't know how it goes, but if he's a good practice player and he coming in to do what he say he's going to do, those 2 weeks without having to worry about a game, it's going to give him time to really get to know his players, like you said, and get to know how does he like to swim? Is he a bull rusher? Is he better off the right foot? Is he a power to rush guy or speed to power guy, power to speed guy? I don't know. That's going to give him time to find that out.
And not only that, it also gives those young DTs more time to get better and better and better.
Exactly. Because those young legs are going to prove to be a issue if they force to double team Sweat on one side.
Right. So you see how far they come in the first 9 weeks, and 3, 4 more weeks, they should even be better than that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I a lot of people are giving Pose hell because it's 2 straight years we're not looking good. I think the guy is building a hell of a team, man.
I don't even count last season against him because he stripped the team down. He tore it down.
Right.
No expectations from me for last year. This year we're starting to rebuild. So I had some expectations. I had 8 wins, but I can't be mad at the development of the players. Some of them are hitting their strides right now.
Right.
Fuck that.
And then I got they see that's my next word. You got to at least, what we say, if you can at least beat the freaking Packers, we'll give you that room.
You're absolutely.
That's the problem. They're not going to give, and you're right. We know what's going on. As football players, coaches, or whatever have you, we know that it takes time to build a dominant team, and he hasn't had that time. But the fans are sick and tired of losing. They're sick and tired of losing to the freaking Packers. And if they can at least do that, then he would get all the room he need to do what he got to do. But with these losses mounting up and then losing for stupid stuff like throwing an interception while you're in your end zone at Tampa Bay and 3 interceptions yesterday, that makes fans say, fuck that.
Yeah. I mean,
the Tampa Bay interception, that's calling 3 straight dumb screenplays, 3 in a row.
Yeah.
You got to do better than that.
Well, you heard what
Especially
White
when the other
said.
team is calling out your fucking plays.
Ain't that with the linebacker
Yeah,
White?
he said he knew it was coming. Yeah,
He said he knew it was coming, and because it worked good, and the only thing that stopped it from working was because it was a penalty. So right off the bat, when you go straight to the line after a play, you don't huddle, you go straight to the line. You think that defense ain't hedging his bets on you running the same play?
right.
And I think what we don't understand is, well, I ain't gonna say that we don't accept is the fact that our quarterback is a rookie. Our other quarterback is first year or second year in the system, and the coach is a rookie coach, still learning how to run all three phases.
Facts.
That's still, to me, it doesn't seem like all the bad stuff that's happening is on the players. Some of this stuff, like we said before, it's on them freaking coaches, man. Look at the coaching carousel. We got a defensive coach going. Now we got a running back coach going. What the hell is going on in our building?
And this goes back to what I said. We hire too many first-year people at these positions. We need some veterans at one of these positions. Come on, where's the veteran OC? We got a rookie head coach. Why they didn't surround him with veteran coaches?
You know what I'm saying? And I got, I got into it with a guy on one of these groups that I'm in, and they was trying to, I was saying, look, we got to quit hiring these coaches with no experience. Fox didn't do good, but we knew his resume. Right. But Nagy, all we knew him for is for calling plays. And most of the times in the playoffs, he didn't come through when they did lose. And then you come hire Getsy. I mean, not Getsy, but Eberflus. Where in his resume it said he was ready to be a head coach because his defense is slamming. That just tells me he can coach a hell of a defense.
Right. This goes back to the coach that was just fired from the Vegas Raiders. All we know is he's a good offensive coordinator. He came.
Josh McDaniels, yeah.
He's not a head coach.
Yeah.
He's only a good offensive coordinator. He's only a good coordinator in New England. Nowhere else.
Yeah.
Nowhere else.
Yeah. Yeah.
He can't do that shit nowhere else but New England.
I was telling somebody Tom Brady made all them coaches over there look good.
That's just like Aaron Rodgers made Getsy.
And made Hackett. Yeah.
And you come in trying to run what Aaron Rodgers ran. Okay, this not even your fucking system.
Right.
You're piggybacking off what you seen Aaron Rodgers do.
Yeah.
I've heard somebody say in a presser that Bagent tried to get the Green Bay footwork down. That's not even his own footwork.
Really?
that he worked during the offseason trying to get the footwork down.
What's
not
that?
Even his own footwork.
With your right foot forward or your left? I can't remember. It's opposite of everybody else though, whichever one it is.
Right. And it's not even his own work. That's the sad part about it. Yeah. Not even his own playbook. You want to go horizontal when you got a quarterback. Okay, with Bagent, that's your game. I can see that. But you have a quarterback that's good for throwing 10 to 20 yards downfield. That's his specialty. And you don't design plays to build him up. That's coaching malpractice. It's just that simple.
Malpractice. You are on point with that one, brother.
You got a quarterback that's good at throwing the deep ball, and you got these long developing ass plays. Let them get rid of the ball quicker, instead of just having to wait until they 30 yards downfield before the play develops. Yeah. And then it's looking like, okay, he's holding on to the ball too long. No, it's your play calling, your play design.
You got to play 4 seconds to develop. I only got 2 seconds back here. I got to scramble.
Thank you. You got to do better. Do better. And it's just it just starts with the offensive play calling. That's all. You got to coach to your player's strength. And Bagent is his quarterback. Because Bagent has he plays he coaches to Bagent's strengths, which is getting the ball out quick.
Bagent plays to the strengths of the plays that Getsy wants to call.
There you go. Dink and
Yeah.
dunk. Dink and dunk.
But to me, that's only good for the first game. You want to you want to make him comfortable by getting the ball out of his hand quickly. You try to get him in a rhythm, and then see where it takes you.
But like you said earlier, defenses figured that out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, and that's the thing. Even as a quarterback playing in a system that he's in, like you said earlier, Tony, he may not have seen the things that he's seeing now ever in Division II. He may not have ever seen that. So, of course, with anything, if it's a surprise, it's going to gas you a little bit until we catch on to what he's doing. And that's what happened. The first game against the Raiders, nobody had a chance to see him, or, we got so far ahead that it didn't matter.
Right.
So, and then the defense showed out, too, against the Raiders. This game, defense was so-so.
Yeah, they were.
But the thing about it is, in that Raiders game, what you got in the Raiders game, that's him. That's him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
If he try to go downfield, most of those are, to me, are floaters. You got too much air up underneath.
Man.
And if your guy is not if your guy is not wide open, there's a good chance them passes gonna get picked. Because he's not throwing with a lot of velocity. It's just a lot of air up under them balls.
Right. Yeah, and again, that could be because his arm strength. And you see it on some of the plays, he ran back like he trying to summon the guards or somebody, and then he let it go and it come out looking like a damn wounded bird.
Yeah.
Rookie, he'll learn more reps. He'll learn. He'll get better. Y'all think he playing Thursday, or is it going to be Justin?
I think the 3 interception pretty much he's out of there. If Justin can go without hurting himself again, he's going. He's going.
Me personally, I would like to see Justin, but if he's not ready, then the first thing they're gonna do as soon as that first flubber that he throws, get him out of there.
Mm-hmm.
If he's not ready, then no, don't play him.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody on Twitter posted a stat: the Bears' last 7 games, Justin Fields, which is 14 quarters each for both players. Justin Fields, 60 for 96, 62.5%, 774 yards, 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 1 fumble. Tyson Bagent, 74 for 110. So they throwing the ball a little bit more. 67%, 690 yards, 3 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 3 fumbles. There's no controversy.
No, and it shouldn't be because
and
that's not even a bad thing. It just speaks to where he's at in his progression. He's a rookie. He should look that awful.
Exactly. He shouldn't not look like Justin. He should be looking like what he's looking like,
Right. And I'm gonna tell you this, dude. I think, and this is just me, with the way that defense played against the Raiders, I think Justin would have put up down there 50 points.
Man, what you said?
Just saying. That's just me. That's just me. I do. Because he's even with the lanes, first of all, the lanes wouldn't have been there to run like they were for Bagent if it was Fields in the game. Because if he ran for 70, you can double that with Justin Fields. It would have been a whole different game.
Those lanes wouldn't have been there. They were game plan for that.
Exactly.
And that's where you got Justin with that arm strength taking the top off the defense.
And that's my thing. With him, I still think that he's got to do what you do to get you in the NFL, guys. That's what I think a lot of players forget. Yeah, you come in here to get better and you want to get into the system, but the nuances of your game have to be the same thing that got you here. If you were a runner, run when opportunities are there. Just be smart with it because everybody faster in the NFL. If you threw a long ball, then throw the long ball. Whatever you did to get to the NFL, trust me, that's what they saw. That's what they want. Do it.
100%. I fuck with that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's too easy to understand for me. I don't get it. I don't get why. I get it. It's a stigma about black quarterbacks that, we don't read the defenses well and all we can do is run and blah, blah, blah. And a lot of them want to sit there and get destroyed trying to stand in the pocket. No, win the game. And I guarantee whatever they think about you will come out in a good way if you're winning the games.
Every player shouldn't look alike. They shouldn't all be Peyton Manning or Tom Brady or Cam Newton. They should all look differently because everybody got different abilities and they're on different teams. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
And when it's all said and done, how did you beat those quarterbacks? You make them move their feet, and they were just as sloppy and looked just as bad as any other quarterback, especially Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. Look what the Giants do. The two Super Bowls they lost, the Giants made that man have to run for his life, and he looked at crappy.
That's not his strength.
It's not.
Take away
Same way Seattle did Peyton Manning. It's the first time they went to the Super Bowl with Peyton Manning in Denver. Look what the Seattle defense did to Peyton Manning. Couldn't do nothing. He didn't even look like Peyton Manning. So, I'd rather have a quarterback that can get out of trouble and extend plays.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, my man, go back a little bit to Cole Kmet. He's having a Pro Bowl type season so far. What y'all think about that? The man has what is his numbers right now? It's insane, but I don't even know his touchdowns. But they're saying that since 2022, he's third in touchdowns amongst tight ends. That's crazy, but we're not counting 2022 because it's not that Pro Bowl year. And as far as like the history of the Chicago Bears, shit, he's fourth in touchdowns.
Yeah, and I don't even, you know what? That's not even hard to believe because remember, we were run some more, run again, and then pass.
Right.
So
Mike Ditka and Greg Olsen, who all 1 and 2, which that makes sense.
Yeah. Who was the other one? Clark?
Right.
Yeah. Clark was a bad boy too, man. Clark on both for blocking and running that ball. He was, catching that rock. He was a bad boy.
Yeah, he was.
Desmond Clark.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe more Miller, but okay.
He on Clark's. He coming up on Clark. Clark at 18. Cole Kmet at 14 receiving touchdowns. So
okay.
Catching Mike Ditka, I don't know. That's 34 touchdowns. Mike Ditka, Hall of Famer.
Man,
if he even stay with us that long.
Yeah.
And speaking of Ditka, I heard this guy say we need Ditka to come in there and show the offense how to be an offense. I couldn't even argue with that dude no more. I'm like, really? We not in the 80s anymore.
It's not gonna work.
You gotta move past that. Yeah, if Mike Ditka was the head coach, what? Are you serious? That was 85, dude.
Hey, that's wild, man. That's wild. That's real wild.
Yeah. I tell you though, I'm looking at Cole Kmet numbers, man. 41 catches for a total of 374 yards. Average per catch is 9.1. That's a walking first down. His longest catch was 23, and he got 5 touchdowns. Yeah, I take that. I'll take that because that means that he's going to draw the attention underneath, and that's why I think that Kmet and DJ Moore should be on the same side of the ball. And if you want to stretch it out, put Mooney in the slot between them. And one of them going to eat. Either Cole Kmet going to eat or DJ Moore going to eat.
Facts. On facts.
Somebody going to eat.
Yeah,
that still should open up the other side, though.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I was always taught that when you calling plays, you're not just calling a play that's on a sheet. You have to stack plays together. That's why so many so many coaches, they script their first 10 or 15 plays. Because myself, I want to touch every lineman. I want to see how the linebacker's going to cover my tight ends, and then I want to run an all go to see which cornerback I can pick on. And that's how you're supposed to stack your plays. You script your plays to find the weak spot, and you take advantage of that weak spot.
I was about to say, and that's perfect for taking advantage of the weakness on our defense. And then you come out with the next set of plays, and you take advantage of that. And the Bears don't do that.
Right, and right. Don't it frustrate you that we can sit up here as common fans and figure all this out on a podcast, but these $1 million coaches sitting there scratching their damn ass?
Yeah, it's like, okay, you touched everybody, you know their weaknesses. Now exploit that, please. And then when you come out in the second half, you already figured out what their strengths and weaknesses are in this game. Exploit that, and we don't.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
Hey man, you asking for too much coming out and making changes in the second half. You doing too
Right.
much,
It
bro.
seemed like it.
You
It
asking for
seemed like
too much.
it.
oh my
You
God.
There's
know,
no way that our offense can make any type of adjustments in the second half.
Weren't
You're
we
doing
one of
too
the best
much.
teams last season at that? Am I
it
wrong?
was.
Was. Key word was.
Like, where did that go? How did that disappear?
That's just like we was the least penalized team last year.
Touche.
Where,
Yeah.
where has all that went this season? It's like
Look
they
at the
forgot.
roster from last season. Look at the roster from this season. It's a lot of moving parts, especially on that line. I
But
mean, this year
even
alone,
still,
you
you got more
got
talent this year though.
yeah, but they still haven't had a lot of chance to work together. You know, how many games has Nate Davis played? 3. How many games has Patrick played? You know, you think about it. You got Nate Davis coming in. You got Darnell Wright coming in. Tevin Jenkins 7 year. There's not a lot of camaraderie there. That's not a lot of we played together. They haven't played together that long.
Yeah, unfortunately, Nate Davis missed pretty much all of the offseason due
Right?
to what he had going on personal,
Yeah.
and
And
that
you think about it though, when we had that line intact, we running through people like hot butter, man. I'm telling you that you listen, Nate Davis, Darnell Wright, Tevin Jenkins, that's a hell of a start to a line. You know what I mean? I'm not sold on Patrick, and I wish they'd go ahead and boot White here. I think he only there because the system. But Borum and what's what's the I can't even say it with a straight face. Those
Jones.
guys, hey man, they need to be over there playing flag football for somebody.
And that's to me that's our weakest spots on that line is the center and left tackle position.
Yeah,
If Jones could show up his protection against the bull rush, he'll be all right. But he hasn't shown he can stop the bull rush yet,
man,
and
it's just sad.
that's just the little bit that I saw in the first 2 games. And this last game, he still hasn't been able to stop the bull rush.
And that's
Yeah,
something he said he worked on in the offseason. And he's a 5th-round pick. And every player has their limitations. I mean, maybe that's his ceiling. We don't know. We definitely gonna have to go back to the well and draft another tackle for sure.
yeah.
We
To
definitely
me,
need another center.
I think we're going to trade back again. But if we keep those 2 first-round picks, I think one of them should be an edge rusher and one of them should be an offensive tackle.
There's
Because
no
I'm not,
good edge
I don't,
rushers out there.
huh?
There's no good edge rushers out there.
Well, then there you go. Hey, that first, listen, one of them first round better be on that line. I don't care which side of the ball it is. It better be. If that's the case, then you already know we ought to go out there offensive tackle then.
Yeah, I think we need to go get some more protection for sure. So show up the pass blocking. Show up the pass because our run blocking is great. We
Yeah.
can't show up the pass blocking. We need to take care of that and get Marvis Harrison Jr. for sure.
Well, if he there, you can't not take him if he there, and which I think he's gonna be. But
so
short of him, I don't think we ought to even play with it. If it ain't him, I think it's got to be the offensive line, man.
yeah, I agree too. So right now we sitting third behind
2 and 3.
Cardinals and the Panthers and
Panthers.
Yeah, we got the second and third pick so far.
Yeah, so we sitting 2 and 3, and
Right.
play the Panthers this Thursday on prime time. Another prime time game for the Bears. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we should mud stump their ass.
This is a winnable prime time game. So, and we won
Yeah,
early one in the season too. But yeah, this is definitely.
unfortunately, we know Getsy. He'll find a way to fuck the offense up.
And this was against the pick that the Bears gave up for the multiple picks this year. Bryce Young, who's not looking very good right now. And
no, that damn CJ Stroud is though.
yeah, that's CJ Stroud. Ooh, Panthers fucked that up. That's probably who they should have grabbed, huh? But yeah,
Ain't no problem.
I think
Ain't no problem.
we targeted the wrong defensive minded coach.
what you mean?
We shouldn't have got Flus. We should have went for DeMarco Ryan. Is
Yeah,
that his name? DeMeco Ryan or DeMarco
D'Amico Ryan.
Ryan?
D'Amico Ryan.
Yeah.
Him, Vance Joseph, Brian
I don't know
Flores.
about Vance Joseph. He didn't
I
do
like
too
Vance
well.
Joseph's defense. I
Vance
like his
Joseph
defense.
didn't do too his he didn't do too well his first stint with Denver.
Yeah, but that's Denver. And ain't nobody gonna do good with Denver until Denver.
Hey, I don't even want no more unproven head coaches, to be honest with you.
I don't need it. I don't need it. But you know, I it, I do think that we're better than we look on the field. I think that if our line was healthy, even as the shortcomings they have, you running that ball heavy on one side, that's going to bring the best defense player to that side, which can affect the way Borum has been attacked. If we could just stay healthy on that line, it's a different story, guys. I'm comfortable saying that it's a different story with whatever line we got. If we can just stay healthy,
Yeah. So
you
with
know.
with that game coming up against Bryce Young and company, y'all think the Bears gonna win that one, 1-7, and Bears 2-7?
I
I don't.
think after this weekend we'll have our third win. After Thursday night we'll have our third win.
Yeah, and I don't. We
I
don't
would
need
like that.
Carolina winning either because they're messing up our pick, right? So let them
Yeah,
keep. Let them keep doing
that's my thing. If we lost, it would only help us. So we're gonna win. It's gonna win, bro.
it.
It's gonna
Yeah,
win, man.
I would like to see a W.
I
I mean,
I, I ain't gonna get mad at the W, even though it kind of hurts our pick. But I wouldn't get mad at the W. I'm sorry.
It's gonna hurt us either way if we win or lose. Because if they win, it hurts our pick. If we win, it hurts our pick. Those both our picks.
If
Well,
they win, that means we really suck as a fucking team.
Facts.
right. I'd rather have a W. I'm sorry. I'd rather have a W.
Yeah, that means we are far behind than what our record shows.
Yeah. I'm sitting up here and I'm looking at Cole Kmet, man, over the years, dude. He ain't done bad, man. 179 total catches, 1,700 plus yards, 9.9 average as far as every catch, and 14 touchdowns, man. I think on any other team, man, they'd be talking about how good he can be.
Yeah, and you got to remember he was sharing the tight end position for the first couple of years. So
Yeah, yeah. When
what
he over there at when him and Claypool both at Notre Dame at the same time?
was
Yep, yep,
Okay.
they were.
yeah.
What he doing down in Miami? He caught his first pass yet?
He caused a delay of game on his first play. Ah,
Hey man, I know they like motherfuckers.
Yep, I believe they saying that wholeheartedly. They beat themselves up. Like, what
Will we
the
get a
fuck did
7th
we
round for
do?
him?
I was like, they gave up a 7th round. They ain't beating themselves too badly.
They
Not
yeah
too much.
they didn't get much. They didn't get much. That that just true. That just goes back to that Jalen Johnson. Um, the the Packers gave up Rasul Douglas
Yeah,
very low. I mean, you traded him and a 7th round pick for a 5th rounder.
for Russell Douglas.
Yeah,
Yeah. That got fleeced.
and that's what I think. That's what teams were looking for when they thought the Bears was going to sell on Johnson. We
Mm-hmm.
can buy low and we can let him walk.
Right.
Yeah,
And I think Poles knew he wasn't going to get a 1st or a 2nd round pick for him.
you
If
think
you
those
want to
two
trade that,
Well,
say it
listen,
again.
I was going to ask you, do you think those two players are comparable?
Rasul and Jalen. Um, hmm, that's a good question. I don't really watch the Packers that much, so
Right,
I can't tell you what Rasul do. I know Jalen Johnson is a hell of a guy.
Yeah. That's why I just
right.
Despite
asked
it,
because he threw them out. He threw them out there as a comparison. So I wanted to
right.
know.
I don't know. And if they wear baby shit colors with, diarrhea, yellow and green on remind me of shit but diarrhea. So I don't fuck around with them.
Because he did get picked on last night a little bit.
As he should. That's his first game suiting up for the Bills, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, he should have got picked on.
But it's just my opinion. I don't think he's a bad corner.
Who, Russell?
Right. I don't think
I
he's a
don't
bad
either.
corner.
From what I seen last night, he's confident. He going out there. He's not out there just standing around hoping that he don't do nothing wrong. He did play, even for that to be his first game. He played like he should have played, in my opinion. I didn't see nothing
Yeah.
bad. I mean,
He's
you don't know
not a
everything,
bad
so of
corner.
course you'll get picked on.
So that's why I didn't understand how that. I really didn't think Poles thought he was going to get a first, second round pick for Jalen because he's seen how shit was flowing.
Well, why we on Jalen again? So here's what I was talking about. Now this is Poles said. Now this was of course last week. He said on Sunday we met with his side and had a really good meeting in L.A. Said Poe said when this is Wednesday, last week Wednesday. I thought we made progress. He said I text my group and said we'll be able to get this done in a matter of days. Said we come back from the trip and his team wants to explore trade. Now that's what Poe said. Said he said that's the point, or that's the thing. He said we never got to that point. Speaking on final offers. So that's why we met in LA in terms of said let's close the gap and figure out where we go next. So when you negotiate, just like anything else, you go back and forth a couple of steps. It said there were only a few steps. There was no one was final. So I guess numbers were talked about, but it wasn't a final number.
Right, that was what I was asking you earlier. Yeah, like
Yeah,
numbers thrown out there, and then they just never got to a final. So it sounds like when they asked for a trade, they didn't like the numbers that Bears threw at them, or they wanted to
yeah.
get.
So what he's saying is, that he never, what Foles is saying, he never really responded. He said it was a surprise because we working. He said it was a surprise because we were working to close the gap. There was no last and final from any side.
Okay.
So that's what Foles is talking about. Like it was like a surprise to him when he came and asked for the trade because didn't nobody really say, well, fuck that, I want more, or you asking for too much. He just came back. I think he was trying to force the hand of the Bears too a little bit there. His camp.
Yeah, I think he was trying to force the hand. He was testing. Like, let me see what's out there for me.
And he should. He should.
And the Bears made the right counter move to that. We want a first or a second. So that way, if the market ain't flowing that way, like you said, Jerome, he ain't going nowhere.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying. Yeah. I think if we can offer more than anybody else, he's gonna stay. But if he that unhappy, with some players, although I don't think he's at that I don't think his state of mind is going to tell him to do it. But, a lot of people take less money to be happy. But as a young man in the league, he wants that first contract to be as much as they're going to give him. So if we can offer him more than anybody else, I think he's going to sit his ass there.
Is that how the NFL work? You can offer more? I don't know. I thought that was an NBA thing. I didn't know that was an NFL thing as well, where you can offer.
No, I'm saying if he will take less just to be happy, somewhere else.
Yeah.
Some players will do that. Although I think as a young man, his first contract coming off his rookie deal, he's going to want as much as he can get. So right. I think if our offer is more than anybody else, I think he's going to stay with us.
Yeah, I think he's looking for financial stability.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking.
I also think he might be a little unhappy as well, because just to ask for a trade, knowing the Bears pretty much hold the cards, they ask it for the first and the second. They ain't for the trade you, dog. Because ain't nobody gonna pony up a first or a second right now. They ain't.
Yeah.
I think he's.
Well, they saying that with the Roquan, it wasn't a lot of upfront money; was backloaded with money, so he would have had to work for the big chunk of money that he was looking for, as opposed to a lot of people get that guaranteed money. Most of his money was what they say backloaded with incentives.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they said. So they saying that they think that they did the same thing to him that they tried to do to Roquan, which is why it was met the way it was met.
So he probably got some incentives. You got to play a certain amount of games, certain amount of interceptions, stuff like that.
And that's what they don't understand. These are things that you did. You think about the Roquan saga when he first got there. Then the next year he was gone because of what was it? What happened? He missed them 8 games because
he had like surgery on his sternum or something like that. I can't remember, something like that.
Right. And then the next time it was a personal situation. Yeah. So that backloaded is things that you've done in your career that make them not trust you. It's not that they don't want to give you the money. Your play speaks to what you should be earning, but again, availability, bro.
That's what that goes back to the whole Montez Sweat thing. They
Yeah.
saw him on the field every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time with the Montez Sweat deal, you paying him for shit that he did with Washington, not
that's
for what he did with you.
that's how
You hoping you
sports go.
hoping he does that with you hoping he does that with you. If he don't do that with you, then what? That contract is like, oh damn, we paying him this much money and he ain't even producing like he did at Washington. That's
Ain't
gonna be the narrative.
that how free agency and trades go? You paying them for what they already done. We getting
Yeah.
players in
There's
free
no way
agency.
around it.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what you're doing when you draft him. When you draft him from the fucking college, you pay him for what he did in college. So it's always going to be that narrative. But I think that if, to Jerome's point, if you're going to do that, you got to at least make that, if you're going to get a 3-4 defensive end and you got a 4-3, that's kind of stupid. You got to make sure he fits your system.
Yeah.
At least that's about the only thing you can do to make sure you're making the right choice. Because everything else is based on what he did for somebody else.
And that goes back to Roquan. He's not a 4-3 linebacker.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, but they also said that Sweat can play in either one, either system, a 3-4 or a 4-3.
Yeah.
He came from a 3-4 in Mississippi State,
Okay.
and in Washington they played a 4-3.
Well, then he should look good for us. Then he coming back. Ain't we in the 3-4?
Been a 4-3.
We in
In
a
the 4-3?
4-3.
And we switched
Oh,
it
okay.
up. Yeah, when we changed coaches.
Right. We switched it up. Okay.
That was one of the things with Roquan. Is like, is he a 4-3 linebacker? So
Right.
But
Well, that's what to end the point on Jalen Johnson. This, and I think this was strategic too. This was very. It was put out there on purpose. Poe said that he does not want to lose Jalen Johnson, and if he did, he would like to have a high percentage of hitting another Jalen Johnson, which to me is a late first round or early second round. That's why that's where the asking price came from with Jalen Johnson. He said, if I lose him, I got to get him back. I got to have a high percentage of hitting on him again in the draft.
But in the same sense, if you let him go in free agency, you ain't getting shit. You get a conditional compensatory third round pick.
he ain't
Right.
going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. They got the transition tag. They got the franchise tag. He ain't going nowhere.
No, he ain't going nowhere.
Even with the franchise tag, you still paying him top dollar.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then but at the same time, it's just a year though.
Yeah.
So it's like a 1 year prove the deal.
About you time to either to renegotiate with him or to see those young corners develop a little bit more.
I like that. I like that Tyreek. I like him. Number 29. And that see that's what I'm saying. See, you can't come out and say, well, we're hurt because it's the next man up mentality. But that boy, number 32, Smith, he a rookie too. He was killing before he got hurt. That's all the things we missing out there, man. That helped our defense become what it was when we were the last two games that we did win. That guy was a big part of it. 30. Well, his last name is Smith. I don't know his right name, but he was knocking the snot out of people.
Yeah.
You got people like him and Tyreek coming up. You can afford to maybe play with Jalen, but you got to see it first. So that franchise tag or however they keep him in Chicago can only be a plus while we're trying to see if he's even worth keeping the next year.
Yeah. Imagine we bring him back next year on the franchise tag, and like y'all say, he's still missing games. He's not getting the turnovers.
Yeah.
But
4 years is a lot of money,
To that point, it's hard to generate any type of turnovers if it's not being nothing thrown your way.
That's true.
That's true.
I mean, you must be that good to where they don't want to challenge you. Let's go pick on the rookies. Let's go pick on the safeties. Let's go pick on Gordon.
So what happens next?
Right.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
To speaking on Gordon, that dude balled out yesterday.
What I tell you, that boy, I like how he hit.
He balled out yesterday.
Gordon is a little dude, but he will pop you.
And you know what? And again, see, that's what the Bob Sanders and the Mike Browns, that's always been their problem. They knock the snot out of them, but they wind up hurting themselves also.
Right.
Yeah, that's Brisker. Yeah,
And then they
that's
go on
Brisker right
Jalen, what you
there.
said about Jalen Johnson, he helped that matter because with that pick 6, they really ain't gonna want to throw his way. As soon as he came back off that injury, he had a pick 6 against the Raiders, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he sure
Yeah.
did.
So they really like, okay, maybe we shouldn't throw at him, and that's good for him. But if you got this guy Smith and Tyreek coming behind him, learning that extra year on that transitional, I mean not trans, but the tag could be all we need to see. Well, hey, if they gonna play like this, man, we can't let them go, and that's gonna save them money on the back end.
Yeah, I was just about to say another year. Those young players, Smith, Tyreek, Gordon, all of those guys get better. Is it gonna really matter at that point?
Yeah. Because if they stay healthy, I'll take that secondary. Brisker, Gordon, Jalen, this Tyreek guy, and this Smith. I'll take that against anybody in the league. They can stay healthy and stay on the field.
I think
You know what I'm saying?
Only person that I would worry about as far as being healthy would be Brisker.
Yeah.
He knocks himself out every damn game. Knocks himself out the game.
He plays so reckless, man, but gotta love it too.
He's gonna have to put some muscle on that frame, man. He gotta do something because I love the way he played, but man, again, shit, if you ain't gonna be on the field, that's just a couple of nice clips you got.
He needs some extra padding up there.
Right.
That's what he needs, some extra padding.
I don't think Eddie Johnson gonna be with us next year, to be honest with you. I think he stayed there too much.
Jackson,
Jackson.
I think he's done.
Yeah, I think he got. Yeah, man. Listen, they kept him around this year to help Brisker and Gordon, all them. Y'all know that, man. Come on, that boy out of there. He know it too, man. He out of there.
That foot stay injured, man. Oh, that boy done.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah. When he did that, right?
Yeah, I don't can remember the game, but I remember we had
2018 Packers interception to end the game. Running, playing around, and he got hit from behind, bent that joker right up underneath him. Remember, because he didn't even play the first round against Philly that year.
And he hurt it again last season. And then he hurt it again this season.
Yeah.
That was that Les Frank injury, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yep. But on that note, fellas, that's all I got. Unless y'all want to add some more to the podcast, man. I thought we pretty much covered everything, and it was a good.
Let me ask you this, and this is not, it's football, but it's not totally bare. What do y'all think about the state of football right now? I mean, look at all these. We talk about the way we miss a tackle, but the league in general, you see the tackling is a mess, man. Dumb plays. Look at all them penalties that they almost not Buffalo. Who they played last night?
Dallas and Philly.
Cincinnati. You see all them dumb penalties they almost threw the game? They're not thinking, dude, these young cats, I don't know what to say about them, man. The state of the game, I'm worried about it, bro. The no situational thinking, no clock management. What is, dude, the tackling is terrible. The effort is terrible. Nobody wants to run nobody over. Everybody running out of bounds. You can't blow your snot on the quarterback no more. Nothing, man. Gee.
Hey, I agree with it's really going to be flag football in a minute. Nobody can tackle. And maybe it's because you can't hit too low and you can't hit too high. They're not wrapping up. And like you said,
nobody's wrapping up at all.
Like you said, everybody out of bounds. Ain't no Walter Payton out there. He ain't nobody trying to run you over. Everybody running out of bounds. Like I want to see a running back truck somebody. I want to see it. I just don't see it too often.
No, if it ain't a stiff run, you're not gonna see it. And then what kills me is you run out right before the first down. I don't care if it is on the second down. You don't know if the next tackle gonna be a tackle for a loss or not, man.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Like, I'm gonna get the first down. I ain't running out of bounds. I'm not running unless it's time management. That's the only time I'm running out of bounds. Other than that, I'm getting the first down. And I see a lot of plays where the running back or the receiver, they run dead into the guy instead of trying to be shifty and shit like that. Try to juke somebody or spin off of somebody. They don't do none of that no more. I'm like, man, I'll try to take this to the house.
That's all I'm saying, man. It's only a few out there. Tyreek will do it. You see a couple of guys that'll give you that and try to get away. But
a lot
for the most part, it's just it's man, I don't know what to call it, man. I just know it ain't what I love. It ain't what I grew up off of, man. I don't know. I just think the state of our game is in trouble.
Yeah, I think we need more trucks, more jukes, all that.
Something, man. And then what they gave that guy the penalty, he went low on the quarterback, but his own guy pushed him into him. They gave him that 15-yard penalty. That changed the game, man.
Facts. You can't go too low. You can't go too high.
Yeah, but even on the replay, you can clearly see that the offensive guard pushed him into him.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's just you gotta the quarterback gonna have to start wearing like a red or orange area that you can hit him in.
Yeah.
No. You gotta tag him. You gotta hit that red and orange spot to tag him. Then he down.
Get him a flag.
Something.
Get a flag off.
Yeah, that's the only way you can tackle the quarterback now. You got to
Well,
hit that red spot.
Then it's gonna be you when you waved at him too hard. Your intentions when you waved at him was still, no, 15. Get the fuck
You
out
laid him down too soft.
Right.
Right.
Well, you did one last night when he put him on top of him and he still gave him a lay.
That shit's wild. You
Come
gotta cradle him. You gotta cradle him. You gotta rock him to sleep.
Yeah. Dude, remember, hey, Tom, remember back in the day we used to go 1,000, 2,1, and then rush? That's what they're gonna have to do, man.
Hey.
Scrimmage.
Unless it's Justin though, because Justin never gets the calls. Justin never gets.
No.
They be rocking him.
You get a 2,000 count with Justin at quarterback.
Like God. Y'all can hit him all in the head. The ref won't throw no flags.
Yeah, I seen a couple of those this year, even in the Washington game when he got slammed on his head. And they didn't call shit.
Nothing.
Yeah.
That would have been one of them other even as weak as Zach Wilson is, they would have gave him that call.
Yeah. That's what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how long I can call myself a fan of this shit they doing now, man.
You just got to readjust your thinking, man. It's like,
man,
you have to readjust.
That's going to be every season. Every season after this one, you're going to have to readjust your thinking.
Dude,
how they playing the game and how they calling it.
This is not my father's football. This is my son's.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now, look,
it's not even my football.
Returns, ain't no more punt return. All you gotta do is catch it, a fair catch, and you can get to 25.
You get 25.
Are you shitting me?
Man, this ain't even our football. You talking about our father's football. This ain't even our football.
Right.
Yeah. I don't even think our fathers will watch this shit.
Man, please. My grandmother, I used to watch the game with my grandmother and my father, man, and they both would be disappointed. They would have my grandmother would have shot the TV with her ass. That's my grandma was Annie Oakley, man.
Yeah, I be trying to, personally coach my son up and how this is how you block, this is how you tackle, and at the same time, that's not how they doing it. This is how I grew up playing.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck they doing now.
No. And that's why I tell my son, all I can do is teach you the fundamentals. With the way and the rules of the game, I don't want you to think because somebody tell you a different way than I tell you that I was wrong or they were wrong. It's just the way they play the game. Now, you got to adapt. I'm just going to give you the fundamentals of what alignment.
As long as it's not Flus's fundamentals. We know what Flus's fundamentals get us. We'll be talking about this shit every week. The fundamentals.
Fundamentals and adjusting to the fucking game.
Getting a new coach next year, fellas. I can feel it.
I hope so. I surely fucking hope so.
Unless Flus can win out, we get a new.
Even if he do win out, we need a new coaching staff. Fuck that.
Nah, if he went out, I'm gonna let him keep his job, man. That's a good.
Okay, well,
the only reason I would like
the offensive coordinator.
Look,
the only reason I would like to see him stay is because putting Fields in another offense in 2 years come on. That's 3 offenses since he got in the league. That's the only reason I would like, at least for the offense to stay the same. If they get rid of the head coach or Getsy or somebody, just leave the offense alone because how he gonna get good? Or if we want to keep him long term, you keep on changing the offense coordinator.
That's
As
true.
Yeah,
bad as
but
Cutler was, I hated that for him too.
Earl, you're right. We
you
ain't
you
changed it.
put a
You right. You right.
but at the same time you put an offense that caters to Justin's abilities. That's how you do that. You put in a vertical offense,
You still got to
not
learn
dink
the
and dunk, not sideline to sideline. Put in a vertical offense.
all
Right
Yeah,
along
but
with
it's
that
still
running
gonna take
game.
2 years, just like anything else. It's gonna take a year to learn it and another year to get comfortable in it. I mean, and that he won year 6,
then you
and
got
he still ain't
to
accomplished shit.
receivers got to get used to it. Your O line got to get used to it. Got to used to
Especially
it.
the O line, because
I think I think it'll be an easier adjustment because that's you tailor into his game then, which is vertical, stretching the field.
the only plus to it to me is that he won't be a rookie learning it. You know, it's going to be small nuances that he won't have to learn because he's learned it since he's been in the pros. But I mean, I don't know. That one right there is tough for me. I would like to see him stay what he's doing right now and make adjustments. We can, I'm pretty sure there's some vertical threats that could be pushed into this offense as well. So I don't know. I just think changing his offense again it ain't gonna help him soon enough to determine whether or not he should get paid.
Right. I hear what you said on that. And uh, GM GM Poles did give Flus the vote of confidence, so he probably gonna stick around. In his press conference,
Yeah,
It sit well with me,
because
but
at the end of the day, it's whatever the upper management says. It determines on whether they like him or not. You got Kevin and Poles, and then of course the McCaskies in there. So it's going to determine. They're going to determine, do they like him? Do they want to give him another year? I think you got to give a coach 3 years.
yeah.
1 year to install it, second year to get used to it, third year, hey, it either work or it don't.
I just don't think Getsy that dude though.
I agree with you. I just don't think they're gonna fire him either. If they're gonna keep Flus, I think they need to keep Getsy so Justin can stay in the system another year.
That's all I'm saying.
I
That's all I'm saying. Whatever it is, whatever you're gonna do, whoever is Luke Getsy's assistant, he's got to be able to run it if they get rid of him. Somebody got to. That's my only thing. I'm not opposed to firing him or Getsy or Flus, but the system needs to stay the same.
repetition is the key to success.
That's it. That's it. That's it. You got to understand, and in the world of coaching, you got some players learn by doing, some learn by reading, some learn by repetitions. And you got to be able to teach all those different ways and to make it which one you want it to be, or to make it effective in the league that we play in.
Being in 3 different systems in your beginning of your career ain't gonna success at all.
Well,
I think
me,
that's
me
been
personally,
proven.
I don't understand why it hasn't translated because Matt Nagy's system to me is no different than Getsy's. And you dinking and dunking and them screens and shit is no different. So I don't understand.
It's the play calling though. You gotta look at it like
Yeah,
first off,
Well,
Matt
the
shit,
Nagy,
verbiage.
neither one of them. They both suck.
Matt Nagy
I
wasn't
think
the
the hardest thing about learning offense, in my opinion, is the verbiage.
Mhm.
Because all the verbiage are the same. You could some people call it a stick route, some people call it a fly route, some people call it a streak. You know what I'm saying? It's the verbiage. That makes the playbook difficult to learn, in my opinion.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
just
One of the
got I
things that
just
makes
I just got a notification that Brisker clear concussion protocol for
that's good.
Thursday's game.
What about Nate?
Day to day. Well, there's nothing on Nate. Tremaine Edmonds and Justin Fields are supposed to be day to day.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm hoping we get Justin back Thursday. I'm really hoping for that one.
Well,
I
he
want to see.
suited
I
up.
want to see him.
Didn't he suit up last night?
Nope.
Uh,
Okay.
Nope. We'll see how that play out. Hopefully good. Hopefully good.
Yeah, that'll be better. I want to see it. I want to see that if we can finish out once we get these guys healthy. If we can finish out the year with them staying healthy. I think we're going to see what we want to see enough to think or enough to get this guy one more year.
Flus, yeah.
Yeah, they got him for another year before their rookie contract expires. Before they got to offer him that option year, that fifth year option. So they got him for
Yeah.
another year at least.
Yeah. And you look at it. I mean, if you look at the list, dude, of the players that's on our injured, you got Brisker, Davis, Edmonds, Fields, Jackson, Braxton Jones, Patrick, Terrell Smith, and Larry Borum. That was before the Saints game, of course. That's that. You know, a lot of people have some players that are role players on there, man. All these guys is fucking starters, man.
Right.
Yep. All starters.
You know what I mean? And you get these. I mean, you Brisker, Nate Davis, Edmonds, Justin Fields. I ain't screw Ejack, but Terrell Smith, and then you got what 3 linemen on there: Nate Davis, Braxton, no 4, Lewis Patrick, and Larry Bourne. That's crazy. That'll hurt anybody's offense.
Yeah. And
I wouldn't count too much on Patrick, but
it really
But
hasn't
I'm
hurt.
just saying, you got 4 linemen on that list, though. All of them,
yeah,
which were starting at one point.
right.
Y'all think the pass blocking will ever improve with those players, even if they were healthy? Or we just not that good at pass blocking with that?
I think the running game makes it better. You think about it, when we running that ball 170, 150 yards per game, the passing comes easier because now they're standing flat-footed trying to see if they got to take on a lineman coming out for the running game,
Right.
as opposed to dropping back into their prospective fields that they cover in on passing plays.
Right.
They got to
So
also add in more play action
I was about to
that's
say,
it.
they
Yeah,
did yesterday.
yeah. That's what happens when you can run the ball effectively.
oh, you're gonna catch
It
them
ain't rocket science.
all
We
times.
know it ain't rocket science.
Right. It feel like the coaching staff are casuals and we the experts. I mean, we are experts.
Yeah, hey, throw
We've
a
been
few
watching.
million this way. I want to have to leave the house. Throw a few million this way. I get all your talk shit.
Yeah,
Hell
I feel like
yeah.
we are experts anyway. We've been watching the game for so long, and we're not just watching for entertainment. We watching. We
Right.
actually paying attention to the game. So I feel we are experts anyway. We just don't work in that field. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's not hard to see what's wrong with the Bears, man. I just don't understand if they watching as much film as they supposed to, how y'all not seeing it? It's one thing not to have the players to run
Right.
whatever you're trying to run, which
Last
in
year,
their
last season.
case,
Right. Last season.
right. In their case with all these players on the sideline, I get it. But you know, you got to something got to give, man. I'm not sure I know exactly what it is, but I can point to a few things that they need to change to get them moving in a better direction. And the most one is the ability to adjust, man, at the halftime.
That's the biggest one right there. Play calling, mixing it up, man. Just mix it up as far as like run the ball, but mix up the passing game when you do go to it. Don't
Yeah.
show screen every time. You know,
And
mix it up.
do you understand? And this is my opinion. You know why it's so easy to read their offense? Because none of the fucking plays look the same.
Mhm.
When I run a play, it's gonna have a right side, a left side, and a pass play. And it's gonna be ran out of the same formation.
Right,
That's how you play chess with the other defensive coordinator, dude.
like you
Yeah.
said,
Every time they run a different play, it's a different formation. You know something coming.
keep them flat-footed.
Yeah.
Keep them flat-footed.
Yeah, got to keep them guessing. Can't keep
Mhm.
running the
Which we
same
are not
vanilla
doing.
shit. The same, every half, every play, you running the same play damn near every possession.
Yeah.
You're gonna
So
run
in the
some
second
form of
half,
that
it don't
play.
look new to them no more. When you see that in the second half, you're like, oh, they did this in the first half. And it ain't, that's the time where you need to be a play action. What they do, run the same play. Motherfucker beat the lineman, fumble in the backfield. Instead of using the same formation to run a different play, maybe. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Come on, man. That sounds like too much right.
Sound like you might be a coach over there, boss.
Hey man, from 6 to 14, that's what I do.
Yeah. Hey,
That's what I do.
right.
you need
That's what I
to
do.
bring Getsy in to shadow you, man.
Hey, come
Nah,
on, man. Hey,
nah.
come on,
What
come
you
on.
do is you have like they told Phil, watch the film on the boss. Have Getsy to watch the film on the boss.
Yeah.
That's what
Hey,
you do for that.
hey, we do like what was the movie with the Wayans brothers where they turn it to white girl? Hey, turn me to Getsy. I mean, lock him in my closet. Turn me to Getsy.
Right. For sure.
You gonna have Getsy still in your playbook like Homeboy did off the Water Boy.
Uh-huh.
Hey, if it work, I'll give it to him. You ain't got to steal it.
Right. Hey, if it fix this team, you can have it, man. Let me get some
Right,
season. Hey, let me get some season tickets. You can have it.
right, for real. Yeah, they'll get it together.
Yeah,
They'll get it figured out.
I think the key is the health, our health. If we get our health back, I like the way we were going when that line had Nate and Tevin got healthy. Dude, we ran the shit out that ball that game, man. The first game we
You
won,
know
they
what?
had all of them in.
All bullshit aside, I think it starts preseason. Let them boys play.
Play. Thank you.
Play
You can see it in
during
the NBA too.
preseason.
Look
All
at the
them
NBA
two or
right
three,
now.
all them 2 or 3 plays for preseason. Nah, that's not helping you none.
No, it's not.
Because it takes you 2 or 3 games in the regular. You losing 2 or 3 games in the regular season just because you're trying to keep people healthy during the preseason. Let them
And it
boys
ain't
build that
working because
callus.
look at how many hurt this year. I mean, this big name players going out every week, man.
Yeah.
So what? It ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, it ain't
Keeping them
helping.
out doing preseason ain't doing shit.
Ain't helping at all. They got they overcorrecting shit. Shorten the preseason.
That's all I'm saying. You don't even know what you're working with. The first 3 games ain't nothing but preseason.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah. You wouldn't be preaching no fundamentals in games 6, 7, and 8. Yeah, we got to work on the fundamentals. Nah, you supposed to hammer all that shit out during preseason in the first 3 games.
Right. What the hell you think? Mini camp and boot, all that shit is for.
Yeah.
Hey, once we get past game 1 of the season, I don't want to hear shit else about fundamentals because you done already cracked somebody. That's it.
Yeah.
Not to mention that your ass done play high school and fucking college. You should know the fundamentals.
Yep.
Facts. You're supposed to learn how to tackle back in high school.
That's all I'm
On
saying.
concrete.
Oh, concrete.
Man.
On concrete and asphalt. You getting rocks
I still got
and everything else all up your elbows. Because you hitting somebody on concrete.
Man, you know, look back in your skin still sitting there.
Right. Oh, I didn't hit him hard enough.
My knees felt that one.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's how you fix that shit.
Facts. All right, fellas. I'm gonna wrap it up right here. Good time talking to y'all, man. I love talking sports with you guys, man. For sure. Definitely the Bears.
Man, fun as always,
Definitely.
man. Fun as always.
And
Let's get some likes and some subscribers out there. Can't get my words out, but let's support this pod.
Man.
After every game, we on here chopping it up, talking to Bears.
Yes, sir.
Let's get some more support out there from you fellas, and let's keep this going.
That's it. Hey, give a shout out to Tone for setting it up, man, and give him some support out there, guys.
Thanks for the platform, and
appreciate you.
let's keep this going.
Appreciate y'all.